One of my more notable case studies that a lot of people know me from is when we helped Ecom Amsterdam scale from literally $300,000 a month to peaking at $2 million a month in revenue over the course of 2021 of October, all the way up until our last month working together, which was December of 2023. Now, when we first came into this particular brand, they had a lot of stuff going on in the account. They had a lot of very different campaigns and very different approaches to the ad account structure. So obviously number one was just simply going ahead and consolidating the ad account to one campaign per country, and we were kind of focusing on the big five at that point. So we had 5 kind of key countries that we were advertising into. And then also too, the next thing was getting a consistent flow of new creatives inside of the account. They weren't really doing much creative testing at that time, so getting a consistent flow in the account is what allowed us to basically go ahead and start scaling the initial set right there. But again, this is all the way back in October 2021, where creative testing wasn't as known right there. Now, the next thing we did was, again, keep in mind, October 2021 when we started with them, I wanted to help this client get us the biggest result as fast as possible. So November was coming around the corner where we had Black Friday, and I remember talking with Samuel, and Samuel was just like, yo, I just want to hit $1 million a month. I know I have the right guy, I want you to help you out. So I basically launched our Black Friday launch strategy with them, which essentially is just basically going ahead and you build up a ton of hype throughout the month of November, and then you have one big launch weekend that allows you to do high-end numbers. I think for us, it was exactly about 750, 800,000 we did that weekend when we launched that with them. And then I think over the course of November, we did 200K all month. And then Black Friday weekend, we did 800K, allowing us to hit a little over $1 million a month in revenue within the first 60 days of us working together. So that pretty much solidified the relationship I had with them, being able to help them hit a big goal they had early on in the relationship itself. Now, as far as further scaling over the years, there was a lot of other issues we've ran into when it came down to all right, now we have to start understanding bestsellers. With clothing and stuff, you want to have a set of bestsellers that have a ton of inventory to where you can scale new customer acquisition. And that's where you focus on the Facebook ad side. But then you also want to launch new products, which allows you to increase returning customer revenue. So that way you scale new customer acquisition with Facebook ads, and then you have returning customer revenue, which is where you make all your profits. Now for them, we were only scaling at a 1.5 on Facebook, but overall collectively between Shopify, Facebook, and the advertising sources we're running ads on, we had an overall collective of a 3.5x ROAS on that side right there. So the overall is where we're profitable, but Facebook, we just focused on the new customer acquisition from there. Now, as far as other things we did to be able to scale this account and stuff, we had new stores that were created specifically for certain sets of languages, to where the stores, the ads, the creatives, everything was translated to be in a specific set of languages and stuff. And then from there, we also focused on higher end content creators. So in the beginning stages where you're just testing to find winning messaging and stuff, you're not really too much focused on high-end content creators. But once you find key winning messaging that helps the ad account scale, then we want to increase our creative investment. So instead of spending $100, $200 per UGC video, now we're spending $1,000 to $2,000 per UGC video. But there are higher end creators that, one, just film better content, 2, it gives your brand a more premium presence, and 3, they're large creators with a couple 100,000 followers, to where even though we're not whitelisting, even though they're not posting on their social media platform, they're still going ahead and people are seeing our ads and seeing them in our ads, which creates that oh, hey, I need to go buy from that brand now because my favorite creator is in their ads. So that was another thing that was huge for us that helped us scale, and that really allowed us to scale fast on top of the new store specifically. And then the last thing from there was just repeating all that system for a long period of time. There was never a period of time where we just kind of sat there and it was just hey, none of this is working and moving on. Yeah, we had weeks that some of this stuff didn't work, but just repeating this system for long periods of time is what allows us to go all the way from 300K a month to $2 million a month consistently. The $1 million a month was hit early on, but it was a Black Friday. Whereas when we hit $2 million a month and stayed there consistently, that was around September of 2023, which allowed us to further continue, do those numbers and do even bigger Black Friday of you know, that 2023 side right there. So, but yeah, so one of my more notable case studies and stuff. I know a lot of people know me from that, and I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you're all sitting back and like, hey Nick, would love to learn more of how to help, you know, scale brands to $1 million a month and stuff like that. I've done this now for multiple brands. I've also gone ahead and have helped a ton of students also to hit $1 million a month with Facebook ads and everything like that. And I'd love to help you do the same. So click link below to join Nick's inner circle, where I can mentor you and help you do that. Or if you want me to do it for you and you're doing at least 100K a month in revenue, then I have Nick's agency, where I'll run all these ads for you and help you do everything pretty much we talked about today. So links below for that. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.